All right. Let's see what we got going on today. Ah, crap. Give me a second. All right. Sorry. Do we take profits now? Yeah, if you're in a short, probably a good idea to take some profits. When is this 5-minute candle close? 30 seconds left. I'm gonna start marking out this high here. Start marking out this high. And then once we close, I need to see, once we close, I'm gonna mark out higher. There, we're about to close in like a couple seconds. Are we serious? Oh my God, doing it again. Give me a second. Oh, wait. No, we're good. I'm tripping. Never mind. All right. We're going to wait for this 5-minute range. Pretty nice range. I ain't gonna lie. Pretty nice range. Hold on. All right. Let's go start from the hourly chart to kind of see what's going on while I wait for something to happen. All right. So first things first, we got hourly lows just got swept. You can see to the left here, we got these hourly lows that just got taken out. So something to keep an eye out on. Now, that being said, probably, oh wow, I was about to say we're gonna get some buying pressure stepping in. We are just pumping. Gee, I hope it could retrace and kind of at least, let me see, 15-minute. Let's see what's going on here. All right, wow, we're ripping. 15-minute. Looking pretty good. So we'll wait to see what happens here. Hold on, let me go back down to a, holy crap. Does this have the momentum to keep going and have a pivot point there? Interesting to see. And you kind of see when you look on, let's call it, let's say 15-minute chart, right? We were in a downtrend. You could kind of see we're down trending. So keep that in mind that we are in a downtrend still until this thing really changes structure and really starts to... We are also below view up, so you got to keep all that in mind. We'll see what happens here. Wow, this thing left a bunch of gaps. So glad I a quiet short. Said you got to look for liquidity points to kind of scale out, because you got to understand that, you know, price can reject at those points. Can we do trade on take profit? I mean, I trade on take profit trader, if that's what you're asking. Bitcoin is mirroring. Bitcoin's ripping. Huh. The question is, does this thing have the momentum to keep going, or is this thing gonna fake out? I would laugh so hard if this thing just fakes out. Everyone's getting so excited for longs, for this thing just to... Bro, why does it always... Give me a second. I don't know why this is happening all the time now. All right, trying to hold that top 5-minute range of support. Trying to hold it. Trying to hold. I don't think we got news today, right? I think I checked yesterday, but I'll double check, make sure nothing else popped up during after. No, some FOMC member. 1030 natural gas storage. No, nothing. No news you need to worry about. CPI news? No, there's no CPI news today. Okay, let's see what's going on the hourly chart. All right, we're ripping, but we're coming up to an area with a big bearish imbalance right there. So it's gonna have some resistance up here. Just tapped into that bearish imbalance. Just ever so slightly tapped into it. So gonna see what happens from there. Okay. Wow, getting a pretty decent sized pullback here. So you gotta watch higher time frames. Watch for those imbalances. Watch for price to where price could potentially reject off of. It'll start to look ugly if we get back in the 5-minute range and leave behind a bearish imbalance. It's kind of what I would be looking for, but we'll see. We may go, I mean, it's possible we go sideways too. That is a possibility that we go sideways. We had a pretty big move pre-market, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case, but it's also Friday, so who knows? And it's a no news day. We'll play it by ear. We'll see. It's right at that pivot, so right above the pivot. We're tapping in. We're also pushing into view op area. Let me see if I could show you. Hold on, give me a second. Oh, wow. Trading View, what pivot indicator you use? No, this is not Trading View. This is Ninja Trader. I just use the indicator is just called pivots. Different platforms have it called differently. Some it's pivot points, some it's pivots. You just gotta type in what. You just gotta try a few different options to find it. But here, give me a second. You could kind of see what's going on here. Right there. That purple line right there is the view op. So we're pushing into the view op area. We're at an area, we have a big bearish imbalance here, and we got view op, so we'll see if it has enough strength to continue pushing through view op. Then mega dump, possible. I mean, what happens is a lot of times people get super excited for the longs and they go, oh my gosh, it's pumping, oh it broke this, and they're not looking at higher time frames what's going on. I'm not saying it's not going to keep ripping. It could keep ripping, but higher time frames does show that there's a possibility, right, that this thing could reverse here. So we are coming up. Like I said, look at this gap. We have a bit bearish imbalance. We're coming into an area of resistance. Not only do we got these previous lows turned into highs now as resistance, possibly holding this down. Then we got view op right there. So it's going to need some decent amount of, you know, pressure to get through that area. That's also just something to look out for if you're in a long position, right? Like if you're in a long position, not a bad area to scale out of some to just protect your profits. Last thing you want is to be in a long and this thing reverse and dump all the way back down to the downside. You don't want to be greedy. What's view op? It's VWAP, volume weighted average price. It's like the most popular indicator in the world. Everybody uses it. Even hedge funds use view op. It just takes average price and volume and points it out on a so good indicator to have. I mean, just to know where it is, because it could reject off there. I wouldn't take trades off of it, but we're literally right at view op right now. We're tapping it. Oh, decent amount of, man, this thing is ripping. Brother. Violate command. Are you serious? Yeah, that's hilarious. It's VWAP. You're probably misspelling it. Dang, we pushed through view op. Crap. Is this another? The past few days we've been dumping through 5-minute range. Today we've been ripping through the 5-minute range. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. What's up with Tesla? I don't know. I just watch NASDAQ. This thing is bye-bye. Bye. All right, we're done. We pushed through view op, and now we're dumping below it. So, where are we? Are we at the 50% mark on that hourly? No, not at the 50%, but we are at that resistance level. So we are tapping. We'll see what happens here at view up. Yes. Freaking A. I'll be locking in on this. On trading? Yeah, it's not easy, man. It takes a lot of discipline, and one thing I would say, if you want to learn trading, don't just trade sim accounts. Trade a fake account, figure out a strategy that, that you like, that works for you, that it's easy for you to understand. Figure out a strategy and stick to that strategy. Get better at that strategy. Become a master at that strategy. But you got to back test it over a certain time frame to make sure it works. Then you forward test it, and then, that's kind of the process. And then once you get it down, you can prove to yourself you can make money in a sim account. Then you can buy evaluation accounts with prop firms, and you can start making money. But one thing this is going to save you a lot of money. Do not spend, you could buy an evaluation account if you want, a cheapest one, like $30. But don't spend money. Don't think that you're going to be profitable in this in a couple months or a year. It goes a lot into it with psychology, and so this is a long-term game. If you really want to learn this, it's a long-term game. It's not something that you could learn super fast and then start making an insane amount of money. Are there anomalies that do that? But yes, but for most people, for me, it took me 3 years to become profitable. Three years also to get me to the point where I have so much discipline that I could just I just wait for my setup. I know sometimes it's boring because I don't, there are weeks where I can take 2 trades a week, and that's fine. This is a long-term game for me. If I get a setup, I take it. If not, then I kind of, I stay out of it. I look for something very specific. That's why my win rate is 80-something%, because I look for something very specific to happen. And if it doesn't happen, I don't take it. Do you anchor the view op? Keeps not allowing me to ask, so I form. You can't even put anchor? What the heck? What is anchor? Why wouldn't they? So my view op? No, I didn't touch anything. So whatever the settings are, that's what they are on I have it on Thinkorswim just from when I used to trade options. So I use Thinkorswim as like my charting platform type of thing. But I didn't touch any settings. Whatever the stock settings are, that's what I left it at. Because once I start switching settings, you want it what everybody else is looking at it. Once you switch settings and it starts looking different than everybody else's on the screen, then it's the reason ViewWap works so good is because everyone uses it. So people have the same settings and they're looking at the same ViewWap. Yeah, no problem, no problem. What prop firms cost 30 bucks? So Apex, let me see real quick. They just ended their sale, but they're gonna have another one pretty soon. They always have sales, that's all I know. Hold on, give me a second. Apex trader funding. Let me see if they had a sale. Normally I get a email. I don't remember getting an email, so yeah, they're not having a sale yet. So wait for Apex to have their sale. They'll probably, maybe even this weekend, they'll put out a new sale maybe this weekend or early next week. But it's coming soon. So wait for Apex to have their sale, and once Apex has their sale, their accounts are like 33 bucks around there with 80% off that they usually have it, depending on what sale they're going to have. So Apex is hands down in terms of just evaluation accounts. Just evaluation, Apex is the cheapest. Now they do have an activation fee if you pass the evaluations to activate a funded account. But then you have, you know, like Take Profit Trader. They have, I think it's like $100 for an account, but they don't have activation fees. So, but lately Apex has been doing their $40 activation fees. That's been some crazy deals. So you buy an evaluation and their $40 activation fee comes out, like you save a lot of money. But if you're still in the learning phase, like you're still learning this thing, don't worry about, like, that's why I tell you Apex is because you don't need to worry about activation fees. Your goal is not really to necessarily pass the account if you're in a evaluation still learning. That's why I say sim accounts are technically the best way to go because you don't waste any money. But if you don't want to technically trade sim, you could still, even though evaluation is still a sim account, but if you want to do evaluation instead of like a sim with a brokerage, then Apex is the best way to go because you're going to blow it. That's the thing, is when you're learning, you're going to blow. The amount of evaluation accounts I've blown to learn this thing, and that's the awesome part about prop firms, is like, I don't think I would have learned trading if it wasn't for prop firms. And the reason I say that is back when I started actually like learning how to trade, there was not really any prop firms. You had to do funded, like you had to fund an account thousands of dollars. So when you blow an account thousands of dollars, eventually you get to the point where you can't keep resetting account, like you can't keep funding accounts, right? So, and most people don't want to trade a sim account. Most people don't, because the psychology is different, so they don't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. But yeah, so evaluation accounts, bro, I've blown so many evaluation accounts learning, but you know, at the same time, it's like, once I learned, bro, you can get that money back super fast. Like, to put this in perspective, when I used to blow evaluation accounts, now I'm at the point, I'm literally like, this is also why I'm super patient. I am 13 trades away from taking a $20,000 payout. 13 trades. So all I have to do is be patient, stick to my setup, stick to my plan, 13 trades, and I get a $20,000 payout. So I know a lot of people like shit on prop firm accounts. Oh, some people shit on prop firms and stuff, but to be honest with you, like it is a blessing for even beginners to be able to buy a $30 account, and if you blow it, it's 30 bucks. You know, it is what it is. You reset it. But obviously you don't want to keep blowing accounts because that can spiral downhill too. Because if you keep, you know, you buy 2 accounts and you're already like, you know, you're spending $70 and then you blow it in one day, and by the time you realize it, you could be spending thousands of dollars a month just on evaluations. You don't want to be doing that unless you got like a crazy amount of money, how some of these influencers got. But for the average person, it's not a good idea, and it builds bad habits. You don't want to wire that into your brain of oversizing and just blowing accounts. That's why I take it easy, bro. When I was passing my evaluation, I was passing 7 accounts, copy trading. I was being patient, bro. I was risking, you know, very little, and took me like a little over a month to pass those accounts, but I passed them, and now I'm, you know, in these funded accounts doing the same thing, going for the payouts. Setting up an account now. I usually buy my funded futures evals, and they are $77. Yeah, I think it's good, like, especially when you get into the area where you actually have a strategy and you're disciplined and you know how to trade. I think it's good to diversify. That's why I have like Apex accounts, I have Take Profit Trader accounts, and I'm eventually I'm gonna start getting more accounts too. But for now, I think I'm good with just Take Profit and Apex. The reason I got Take Profit Trader accounts is because Take Profit Trader accounts, you can get, once you get past the buffer zone, you can start taking daily payouts, right? So if I make, you know, if I have 2 accounts and I make, say, $300 per account, I can take a $600 payout the next day. Well, minus the profit split. But, and then I make another $600 the next day, I can take out another payout. So you can literally take daily payouts, which is pretty cool. It's like having an actual account, and they do actually put you in a live account eventually. If you could show that you can make money over and over, they will eventually put you in a live account. The same thing with Apex. Apex is supposed to put you in a live account. So here's the thing with I think a lot of times, like, you take Apex, right? A lot of profitable traders complain that over time, once they take like a large sum of payouts from like Apex, that Apex starts denying you payouts and stuff like that, and pretty much like banning you in like a secret way to not get payouts, so you wouldn't, you know, trade with them anymore. The reason I think that happens is because most people, like, in order for Apex to want to put you in a live account, I think they want you to. They don't want to take traders that, even though these profitable traders, most of them oversize, over leverage to get to these big payouts. And now they get to them, right? It is a strategy to use. But then again, like, a prop firm like Apex does not want people, you know, to put somebody in a live account and then they're risking, you know, 50% of their account in one trade. And then it's just like, you put somebody in a live account and they blow it the next day. So maybe that's why they do it, and not many people can actually trade the way they trade prop firms normally. They can't trade a live account. Yeah, I've blown four so far, down $300 in evals, but the failures pointed my psychology was bad. Yeah, so you gotta make sure, the biggest thing in trading is to learn from your mistakes. If you can't learn from your mistakes, you're going to get stuck in a loop that you just keep repeating over and over and over and over again. You have to treat trading like a business. You have to have very strict rules in place. Regardless, it all depends on your strategy. Stick to your rules. Whether it's take 1 trade a day and you're done, trade between 9:30 and 11. Maybe it's I take 1 trade, and if it's a winning trade, I stop for the day. If I take 1 trade and it's a losing trade, I allow myself 1 more trade. If it's like, have very strict rules so that you don't go, because when you don't have rules, you go until, and you start to like take 1 trade, 2 trade, 3 trade, 4 trade, and by the time you know it, you've blown your account. That would happen a lot to me. And when I was learning how to trade, that would happen a lot to me. I would start to trade, I would take a bad trade, a losing trade, and then immediately I would hop back in and try to make that money back. And then it would be a nasty cycle of me just going into nasty drawdown. And the more drawdown I got into, the more emotional I got, and the more likely I was to blow the account. So now it's like, having very strict rules keeps you in a straight line, because if all you do is follow those rules, you don't get a setup. Like, I can take a setup and I can lose money, and then I don't get a setup every 30 minutes. I don't get a setup every 30 minutes. So it prevents me from, over trading and reversing my position to try to make my money back and all this crap that can lead you down a bad spiral. Why not sell? Well, it's just not my strategy. I am back testing. So this weekend, I'm going to be back testing another strategy that I'm planning to get more accounts on. I have to back test it first and before I actually start using it. But pretty much the idea for the other strategy is like a pullback. To get a pullback, once we break out of this 5-minute range like this, to wait for a decent sized pullback, kind of back to this 5-minute range to get a bounce off of it. That's type of the thing that I would, but I got to do the back testing on that and see what. Obviously, sometimes you just don't get the pullback, but I've seen it happen so many times, especially when we break out of this 5-minute range and don't close back inside. This 5-minute range a lot of times ends up holding as support to come down to, hold as support to go back up. Gold. No, this isn't gold. This is NASDAQ, and this is on Ninja Trader. Didn't know you could copy trade evals. Oh yeah, you can. That's how I'm funded with 7 accounts right now. I copy traded them. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with copy trading. It's a double-edged sword. Like, the thing about copy trading, this is why I had to take a month to pass my evals, right? I had to size down partially because I was copy trading. Now, I'm not gonna just oversize. Could I oversize and just pass all those accounts in a day? Probably, but I ain't about to spend whatever, I forgot how much money I spent on 7 accounts at once to just blow them and then reset them and then just like look back and I've already spent, over $1,000 on evals. So I had to take my time. So I'm saying it's a double-edged sword. You can copy trade, but you also have to be protective and understand that you're also magnifying your losses too, right? So, but you can have your risk spread apart across all accounts. So technically you have enough accounts, you could still make, $2,000-$3,000 days and not be risking a crap ton of money per account. So that's the cool thing about copy trading accounts. Like, what is it? Everybody's risk per trade is different. I don't take a crazy amount of trades per day, so I can risk more per trade. And same thing for the week. I don't take a crazy amount of trades per week, so I can risk more. But you take right? If you risk $300 per trade and you have 7 accounts, that's a $2,100 day. Technically, right? And you only technically made $300 per account, but it's a $2,000 day. And then once you get past that buffer and you start really getting into that area, you're making, $2,000-$3,000 days by copy trading. Is pretty crazy. But I wouldn't buy it unless you've proven to yourself that you have a strategy that works and you can be patient and disciplined. I wouldn't get a bunch of accounts unless you've proven to yourself and because I just don't want people to, waste money and just keep, blowing accounts. Where do I get an account? I would wait. Personally, depends. You can go with Take Profit Trader. They don't have evaluation accounts. But Take Profit Trader, their evaluation fee is higher, but they don't have activation fees. With Apex, they have activation fees, but their evaluations are a lot cheaper. So it depends on how confident you are. Are you somebody that can pass it? Are you somebody that can pass an eval and you can pass it? Then you start kind of getting into multiple prop firms. If you're still learning, Most likely you're going to blow it, so go with the cheapest one. That would be with Apex when they have their sale going on. Are you on Apex or Take Profit? Yeah, I'm on both of them. I'm on Apex and Take Profit Trader. I use both, but I'm in an area where I can confidently pass an eval. I size down. I don't risk it per trade. I take like, you know, a month to pass it if I need to, and I kind of just kind of cruise through it. And buying 10 accounts all at the same time. I mean, if it depends. If you're a good trader and you're confident, that's the cool thing when you have a strategy. This is why when you have a strategy and you stick to your strategy, bro, I'm telling you, you get confidence. And your confidence, you can then buy multiple accounts. You know, you could pass evals, you could have 10 accounts, you know, 20 accounts. Eventually, you can get to a level where you're copy trading 30 accounts. That's personally my goal, is to eventually get to that level where I'm like copy trading like 30 accounts. I can get there, but I want to first get to this $20,000 payout. And then I want to fund a live account. And then once I kind of get the ball rolling with all that, then I want to start adding on, you know, trading my funded accounts and just copy trading evals too. So that eventually in a month, I can pass just a bunch of evals. But I'm not there right now. I just don't want to do it right now. I want to wait kind of to get the ball rolling with. My focus is big on a live account. I really want to fund a live account next year in January and try to grow that account as much as I can. I really think I can grow that account. So, and then I want to trade a live account and then copy trade from my live account. All my funded accounts copy traded. So pretty much I would just be trading a live account and then copy trading the funded accounts off my live account. I was just explaining to my grandpa. Yeah, it's trading is powerful. Trading's powerful if you really learn it, but that's the problem. Learning it is not easy. I just blew a top step. Which Apex accounts do you have? I have the $50,000 ones, in my opinion, are the best ones. With Apex, the 50K is hands down the best ones because the profit target to drawdown ratio is the best. Because you get $3,000 profit target that you have to hit, and you get a $2,400 drawdown. So it's almost a 1-to-1. Versus like, you know, Take Profit Trader is good too, but Take Profit Trader has a $2,000 drawdown versus a $3,000. So both of them are still, they're good. I mean, you get technically like an extra trade from, you get a little more drawdown from Apex, but they're both good if you can pass them. But it's the most popular, hands down, the most popular accounts are the $50,000 ones. I pretty much get 50Ks with everything, with Take Profit, with Apex, Tradeovate. So I have both connections. I have Tradeovate and a Rhythmic connection. The reason is because now I don't know how it is on trading, like Trading View and all that. With Ninja Trader personally, you can only have one Rhythmic connection on Ninja Trader. So in order for me to copy trade from like with Apex and Take Profit Trader, what I need to do is I need to have my Apex accounts are Rhythmic accounts, and then my Take Profit Trader accounts are Tradeovate accounts. So I think on Ninja you can have multiple like Tradeovate connections, but you can only have one Rhythmic connection. All right, we're starting to drop here. How do you deal with psychology? That kind of, to be honest, that's like for me, it was experience. For me, once I just got burned so many times by just doing stupid things that I learned the hard way. But the best way I can say to deal with psychology is, right, have a strategy that you've back tested and you know is profitable, right? If you've back tested a strategy you know is profitable, now you forward tested the strategy, you know it's profitable, you know you can make money on it if you follow the rules. Once you have a strategy that you can follow the rules and you have a specific set of rules, A, B, and C, right? The way it goes is the more rule-based kind of you are in your strategy, the less emotional you can get. And this is kind of a gauge that I tell people. The way you know if your strategy is solid enough is if you've been trading your strategy, you should be able to miss a day of trading, come back in the afternoon and tell me exactly where you would have entered the trade, if you would have entered the trade, or if you would have not traded at all. I can tell you exactly. If I wouldn't have came in today, I can tell you exactly everything that would have happened without even me being at the computer, what I would have done. And when you know your strategy is profitable, you've back tested it, forward tested it, psychology kind of like, to be honest with you, kind of goes out the window when you have a set of rules that you follow. You keep telling yourself, all I have to do is follow these rules and I can be profitable. And so that's why you see me be patient. I'm not chasing every single move up, every single move down. Bro, there are weeks where I only take 2 trades a week. But that's just the kind of setups I get and because I do that, my win rate's like at 80 something percent right now. So I just stick to my rules and I don't have to be emotional. I got to the point, even if when I take a loss, it's like, it is what it is. I'm just going to walk away and come back the next day. It is, it's part of the statistics. You're not going to find a strategy with no losing trades. It's part of statistics in trading. But you kind of build better psychology as you go with your trading. I used to be really bad until I learned the hard way that you have to have a stop loss or else you're going to blow an account. Have a stop loss that makes sense. Don't just put a fixed, I only want to risk $30. So, because at the same time, having too tight of a stop also is not good either, because you're just going to get wicked out of price action. So when you have a stop loss, what you have to do is you have to place your stop loss at a point of invalidation in the market. And then based on where that stop loss has to be, you calculate how much contracts you take in order to risk the amount you want to risk, right? You don't want to just, I want to risk, if you want to risk $200 per trade and you have a wider stop, you have to size down so that if your stop gets hit, you only risk $200. But you have to have your stop in an area of invalidation. And in order to do that, if you have to trade micros, trade micros. That's why I trade micros, is because sometimes I get these swings that I need to be able to size. Sometimes I take, in order to risk, me personally, I risk about $300 to $400 per trade, about $400 per trade. So me risking like $400 per trade multiplied by 7 accounts, right? Based on where my stop is, sometimes I take 3 micros. Sometimes I take 5, 6, 7 micros. Just depends on price action and how tight the price action is, or how spread out that price action is. So regardless, if it's very volatile, my stop, I just size down and I still have the same stop. I still risk the same amount of money, even though the volatility could be crazy. But you do get better at it as you go. Is it not better to get your own accounts? So the thing about it is I think it's good to have both. When you learn how to trade, when you genuinely know how to trade, and this is why I'm getting a live account in January, why I'm planning to have one, is because like prop firms, your entry fee, like initially, if you know how to trade with prop firms, you can pay for an evaluation. Essentially, you can pay, $300-400 across a bunch of accounts with Apex, and then you can get thousands upon thousands of dollars. Like, to be able to invest, for me to be able to invest like $500 with evaluations and activation fees, I think that's what I paid. And then to be able to get $20,000, $30,000 payout, that's the powerful part. You can essentially invest, you know, a couple $100 and you can get thousands of dollars in payouts if you know how to trade. That's very difficult, but just saying, if you know how to trade, you could do that. So your initial investment is very low and your potential is crazy high. But at the same time, like for me, if I know how to trade, what I want to do in January is I want to have a live account. I want to build my live account, and then so that I can take trades on live accounts, and I can have funded accounts in the background that I can just, you know, I can copy trade. So when I take a trade on my live account, 7 other accounts get copy traded, so it just multiplies. And I could just, at the same time, grow a live account and take funded account payouts. So why not? Especially if you know how to trade, why not use PropFirm accounts? Unless you've gotten to a level where your personal account is so high that you're making, you know, thousands of dollars where it doesn't make sense anymore to use prop firms, then that's different. But yeah, most people, the way they trade on prop firms, like a lot of influencers and stuff that you see, the way they trade on prop firms, they would not be able to trade on a live account. They would blow their live account so fast. Like with a live account, you can't be oversized and over leveraged. You have to allow yourself for some drawdown, right? So you can't just a funded account with, I mean, you technically can, but it's not smart. Like funded account with like, say, you know, $5,000 and you're risking $2,500 per trade, like people do with prop firms. You can't do that. I mean, you could do it, but you're just gonna be blowing thousands of dollars. It would be stupid to do that in a live account. But with prop firms, the initial entry is so low that you're just like, you know, whatever. People are like, if I blow it, I'll just reset it. I don't care. Rejected my supply zone hard. Should have done a 1-2 over a 1-1. Yeah, you can't like, you got to take whatever you saw in price action. But the amount of times I've had that before where, and you'll see me do this, you'll see me take profit and price keeps ripping to the upside. Like I can't say, oh, I should have held, because next time when I hold, next time it may hit my first TP where I normally take and then reverse and stop me out. So I just kind of, there are strategies to capitalize. Maybe with your strategy, look into leaving runners. Like if you see a lot of times where you take profit and price just keeps running to the upside, try to maybe take 90% off or 80% off so you can kind of lock in 80% profit and then just leave a couple runners on the table just in case, you know, and place your stop to break even and just let those runners ride. So even you get stopped at break even on those runners, or you make some more money. For me, it's not, for me, that doesn't make sense because I found a lot of times, like, first TP gets hit, but the times I leave runners, sometimes it goes to TP, sometimes it stops me at break even. So what I realized is, for my strategy, it's better for me to take full TP, because even when I leave runners, it still comes out to the same thing, and I'm just in the market longer. So it doesn't make sense for me to do that. So it kind of balances out. My strategy is solid, and I was like 300 away from passing my first evaluation, but I got my second check. Now each loss or failed eval with a lesson. Nice, yeah. Learn, keep learning. This never stops. You will never get to a point in your trading where you never have to learn. Like, you never have to keep. You always have to learn. Even when you got a solid strategy down, you're making money, you're taking payouts, you still have to. You're going to have losses. You have to look at your losses and see if you could have done anything, possibly anything you could have done to potentially, you know, prevent losses in the future. And this is why I'm a big proponent. I have a notebook. I'm old school in this. I have a notebook that I literally write down every trade I take. If it's especially if it's a losing trade, I write down why I think maybe, you know, it was a losing trade. I got my setup, everything panned out. Setup was there, but maybe we took out an internal high first, or maybe we were tapping into view op, right? I got a setup right below view op. I got an entry, started pushing up, rejected off view op, stopped me out. So like, if I keep doing that and I go back in my notebook and I look back at my past, 3, 4 losses or 5 losses, and I see the same pattern in those losses, even the slightest fix can boost my win rate so much that I'm looking for every reason to potentially, possibly fix something to boost my win rate. And if you're going through a drawdown, you take a step back and you reevaluate what the heck is going on. Why am I in drawdown? Do I need to tweak something in my strategy? And that's when I go back and you start to freaking go back through those losses and really try to figure out what you need to do from here on out. Size down. So there's so much like, just for your psychology, understand that this is a long-term game. This is not, don't let the freaking social media space cloud your view, because every influencer out there is risking like his whole account. And I just saw another, when was it? Like last week. An influencer spent, it was around $10,000 in 1 month on blown evaluations. But guess what? He's taking like $50,000 payouts. So that person spending $10,000 a month, you see him like, holy crap, he's making like, $5,000-$10,000 days because he's so over leveraged and oversized. But he can afford to keep resetting accounts. The average person can't spend $10,000 on blown evals to get a $50,000 payout, right? He can do it, but average person can't. I can't either. I'm like, I can't do that. And personally, I don't want to do that because I don't want to wire in bad psychology for my live account. I'm literally trading these accounts as I am going to be trading a live account, so that when I do transition to that live account, my psychology is on point. Like, I don't have to worry because I've already proven to myself I'm doing the same exact thing. I'm just switching over to a different, to a live account. But I would technically be sizing the same in the beginning, risking the same in the beginning. Now, over time, it's going to change because as that account grows, I'll be risking more. But bro, this is something you learn. This is something you learn, especially with profitable traders, is especially when you get profitable, less is more. Less is more. It's when you have a good strategy, less is more. The more pickier you are, the more patient you are, the more money you can make in the market. Like Warren Buffett has the super popular quote, right? The market takes money from the impatient and gives it to the patient people. That's why you'll see a lot of profitable traders, and you look at their chart, how much they trade, they'll take like 1 trade a week, 2 trades a week. And what's better? What's better, to take 1 to 2 solid trades per week, or to be try to trade every single move left and right, and then that person at the end of the week that's chasing every little move, he's down. The person that took 1 to 2 trades, he's up. And that's where these accounts come in, where you can scale up these accounts. So to put this into perspective for me, right? If I take 1 trade a week, I can still have a $12,000 month. I'm making right now with these prop firm accounts, I'm making what? $2,600 per trade. So I can literally take 1 trade a week and make $10,000 a month just by taking 1 trade a week, just by being patient, and that's it. And if I have a really good month, it can be over $20,000. But for me, it's like patience is, it's like the market forces me to be patient, because I have a strategy where I don't get a setup every single day. I will come in every single day and wait for that setup, but if it doesn't happen, I'll try to come in tomorrow. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, I'll try to come in the next day. And guess what? My account is slowly growing. It's slowly growing. It's growing, it's growing. And while everybody else is freaking going like this, it's spiking up, it's dropping down, it's spiking up, it's dropping down, and they're essentially just going sideways the whole time while my account is slowly growing. But the market kind of forces me to be patient because I'm looking for the setup. That's why sometimes it's like I can have weeks where I get a bunch of setups, and I can have other weeks where I take one trade a week because that's all I got. That's literally all I got. I can't force something that's not there. So the market kind of forces me to be patient. More downside. Well, right now we're in bullish territory now. We're officially in bullish territory. We've broken through the view op. You can see, let me switch. Check this out. What happened? And you can kind of see here. We've broken through the view op, and we're holding that view op as support. So, in my eyes, once we're above view op like this, we're getting into bullish territory. So, the general rule of thumb is, right, when we're below view op, we're in bearish territory. Above view op, we're bullish. So, we just pushed above view op. Oh, let me move this down a little bit. We pushed above view op, we tested view op as support, and now we're ripping back up. So, we'll see. Did you get a trade today? No, I didn't. No. I was looking for a potential reversal, but just never got the... Sadly. It's alright. To be fully transparent, I'm break even on the week. So, it's fine. I can go into the weekend break even. It's like, bro, Monday comes. I know in the back of my mind a good trade is coming. I know it. But what's gonna screw me up is if I force something. If I force something and I lose money, I'm digging myself deeper to get out of. So then when I do get the good trade, all I'm doing is making back the lost money on a stupid trade instead of actually growing your account. I've learned those big trades you see, media doesn't apply to me. Consistency, patience. Exactly. Consistency and patience is what's going to give you profitability. That's what's going to separate you from the 90% of people that can't do it. And it's not that trading is, let's face it, trading's not, it's not neurosurgery. It's not brain surgery. It's not rocket science. It's not like some of these professions. It's like, the reason trading is hard is because everything you're supposed to do is the complete opposite of what naturally you want to do. And that's why a lot of people trade it as a casino is all this because naturally your body wants to avoid risk. Your mind wants to avoid risk. And when you're in drawdown, your mind is looking for a way to get out of it. Whether that's, take a trade again, try to get it back, over trade, over leverage. And you almost have to train yourself to stop being that way, to kind of almost like train your mind to just follow your process. That's it. Follow your rules. Because in the back of my mind, once you start telling yourself, once you start almost taking stupid trades, you take a step back and tell yourself, I know this is profitable as long as I follow the system. And keep track of your data too. Keep track of your data. Because keep track especially of how many losing streaks you go on. Me personally, I have not taken more than 2 losses in a row. So I know that if I do happen to take 3 losses in a row, I have to take a step back, reevaluate, size down, make back a loss before I start sizing back up again, see what I'm doing wrong, if I'm doing anything wrong, do I need to tweak anything? You got to keep a track on your data like a hawk, because market structure could change. Trump could tweet something tomorrow, and then market opens on Monday, and then price action is going to be completely different. Tariff news. Tariff news comes out, price action spikes, price action's all over the place, price action's different. And if you traded during tariffs, you knew how crazy that was. The first round of tariff things that came out, oh my gosh, dude, the market was wild. Every day was FOMC day. It was so crazy. A lot of people blew their accounts during that. So you have to be careful during times like that. What happened to the gambling accounts? I blew them. That goes to show that, you know, it's... intuition doesn't really work. If you try to trade off of... I was just trading off of literally intuition. Like, I would see a level and I'd be like, oh, let me take a long. And then I would get stopped out. Take another trade, I would make my money back, but then it's like, you know, you take too many trades, you go on a bad enough streak, and you blow the account. So, yeah, intuition doesn't work for me. I literally need a specific set of rules to follow that I know is profitable, that I've back tested, I know is profitable. That's just like... But I didn't really care about those accounts. I kind of wanted those accounts gone because they're screwing me up in a way that, like I said, they were getting mixed up with my actual accounts, my serious accounts. And so I'm sitting there, have to like make sure I'm selecting the right accounts to trade for the strategy. Now that those accounts are gone, I only have my serious accounts right now. So I'm just, man, I'm selecting every account in the thing. Yeah, market was crazy. I didn't really get too much. The price action this week was not my price action, to be honest with you. That's why I'm break even this week. It's been just like either ripping to the downside at market open, or you see today, ripping to the upside without really even like too much of a... Like, I mean, there is pullbacks, but it's not my strategy. So my strategy, my first strategy that I look for is the breakout, break-in strategy, to where... Market kind of comes this 5-minute range, so it comes out of this 5-minute range, it breaks out, closes below, or, you know, closes outside of it, pushes back inside the 5-minute range, leaving behind a bullish imbalance, tap into the bullish imbalance, and I target the next level. Which, as you can see, it's a pretty, like, it doesn't happen every single day, so... But it's like a confirmation-based strategy to when I see it, I'm pretty confident in taking it. Unk hasn't traded in months. I've traded, I traded this week. But I'm patient, so it's like, I'm not sitting here taking trades every 10 minutes. So it's like, a lot of times, I take one trade per strip. That's all I get. If I do get a setup, a lot of times it's just like one trade per session. So, I think I took 2 trades this week. I took 2 trades this week. First trade I made money, and then the second trade or actually no. Second trade was supposed to be a losing trade. That's why in my mind it's a losing trade. Second trade, I didn't lose money, but I should have lost money because that was the day where I was having problem with my internet. Where I got a setup, I was in the trade, and my internet started cutting in and out, so I got out of the trade at break even, but it ended up hitting my stop loss. So that's why I'm saying break even. It should be a break even month. It should be a break even month. I may be up a little, I'm not sure, I have to go back. But I did take 2 trades this week, for sure. That's a part of it. Like, profitable trading, to be honest with you, profitable trading, this is why a lot of, like, actually profitable traders don't trade live. Because actual profitable trading is not fun. It's not entertaining. It's not, you know, me having to come in here day after day and potentially not even take a trade. Let's face it, it's not entertaining. I could get way more viewers if I just freaking bought 7 evaluation accounts and started going... You know, crazy like the S9 future dudes do. You know, I could sit here and start getting emotional of every trade and try to like just do it for entertainment purposes, but like that's not my goal. I'm actually trying to be a really good trader. My goal is not to sell you guys a Discord and charge you guys for a course and then drive a Lambo not knowing how to trade, really, not making money trading. My goal is to legit not sell a course, not sell a Discord, and be able to get to that level. That's like the biggest, that's the biggest FU to all the haters is when nobody can shit on you saying, oh, he sells a course, he has a Discord, he makes all his money from course sales. And I'll be like, all right, try to buy my course. There's nothing you can buy from me. That's the biggest flex. I know some traders that do that. There are some traders, there are some influencers out there that they don't sell a course, they don't have a Discord, they do trade live, but they're not they don't sell you anything. They make money, but they're not selling you anything because they don't need to sell you anything. They make money trading. I'm not saying courses are bad. I'm just saying, like, the people who earned the right to be able to sell a course typically don't sell courses until later on. The people who just started trading who shouldn't be selling a course are the ones who are selling you courses. And the people who actually know how to trade, the ones who should be selling you a course, they're not the ones selling you a course because they're making money trading, so they just don't want to go through the hassle of all that. That's why I'm a big proponent. I tell you guys, don't buy a course. Do not spend your money on a course. Do not spend your money on someone's Discord or whatever. That's just me. It's like, I never bought someone's course. I never paid for any kind of mentorship, any kind of Discord, nothing. No, I'm lying. When I was trading options, I was in somebody's live stream that you kind of had to pay, but that wasn't long. That was like, I was paying a monthly subscription. That didn't last too long. So I tell it to say, don't do it. The problem with buying someone's like mentorship or course is a strategy that works for one person may not work for you. So you're going to pay for something for a strategy that doesn't click with you. It doesn't work for you. So, and it may be a profitable strategy. There has been profitable strategies where I tried to do it, but in my mind, it just doesn't click. I don't see it. I can't do it. Until I finally found something of my own that really clicks, that I can do it and I know what to look for and I'm good at it. So you just never know. Courses are scams. Learn it on your own, like the people. Yeah. Learn it on your own. It's gonna take long. I mean, it's gonna take some time because you're gonna be in the beginning. You're kind of jumping from strategy to strategy, back testing. You gotta put in work for this, right? Most of the time, you don't just find a strategy, back test it, know how to do it, and then start making money. Like, do you know the amount of strategies I had to? It was like years for me jumping from strategy to strategy, back testing, trying to find out what works for me. It was years. So, but once I finally found it, bro, it was smooth sailing from there in terms of like, now I know what to look for. I'm patient, I'm disciplined, right psychology. So that's the crazy part about trading is you can be like struggling and learning, especially with prop firms. You can be learning and blowing accounts and trying to find that strategy, trying to learn from your mistakes. And a year, 2 years, 3 years goes by where you're just not making money. You keep blowing accounts. And let me tell you, once you get your strategy and you get the right psychology, all it takes is one payout. One payout can absolutely change your life. You can get that $20,000 payout because you found the strategy that works for you. You back tested it, forward tested it. You're sticking, you're patient to the plan, and then you get that. Finally, you get that payout and $20,000, and that's just like, for a lot of people, that changes them. They're just like, wow, now all I have to do is just be patient. That's it. Be patient, and you can get consistent payouts. And then eventually, you go to a live account. You start building your own live account. And then like your life can essentially change. But it's not going to be easy. That by no means is this a get rich quick scheme because it takes a lot of hard work and building the right psychology and not over trading, being patient. That's very difficult. That's very difficult for a lot of people to do. And you see me coming in here potentially a day, 2 days without taking a trade. How many traders do you know that can come in and be patient and not take a trade? Every trader that trades live stream They're always gonna, they're gonna trade something. They're gonna force something to show that they're trading. So that's one of the things where when I realized that I was starting to get way better at trading is when I would come into the market and I would walk away without taking a trade. That's the first sign that that's the first sign to me that you're becoming a good trader, is when you can do that. Because in the beginning when I was learning, I could not come into the market and walk away. I had to take something regardless. If it was my setup, if it was forced or not, I was taking a trade. And that's really bad. But for me, even if I come into these lives and I'm waiting for a setup and I don't get a setup, and I can still, like, if I can teach some people and I can save some people some money and I can, you know, share something that helped me and that can help you and cut down your learning curve, but why not? You know, at the end of the day, it's supposed to be your own experience. Yeah. Every person's learning curve is different. It all depends on how well do you learn from your own mistakes. Are you somebody that can learn from your own mistakes, or are you somebody that just keeps making the same mistake over and over and over again? I paid $4K for what? For a course? So I did option once I found NQ and gold futures. My life changed. No worries, just comfort. Yeah, I went once I switched from options to futures. I don't think I'd ever go back to options. All time decay, all this, like, futures is just so much more. I wouldn't say simpler to trade, but just easier to, like, you don't have to worry about time decay and all that crap. How to find strategies for a complete newbie. I mean, there are so many strategies on YouTube. So I made my own strategy. I just was backtesting. I was backtesting someone else's strategy, and during the backtesting, I started to realize something, and I kind of developed my own strategy off that. And I started to realize a pattern and kind of develop my own strategy. But you just have to keep kind of looking for different strategies and see what clicks for you. You don't want to find a strategy that you don't understand. Try to find a strategy that just clicks for you, that you kind of understand, that you can kind of go with, and then kind of backtest it. And if it's profitable in backtesting, forward test it on like a sim account, and then you can go from there. And then you just stick to that. But that's the part. You're going to be searching. It's going to take some time. It's not going to be like, you know, it's almost like finding a needle in the haystack. You're going to go through multiple strategies to get to finally find the one that works for you, that you get. All right. Must have been the TJR course. Does he really charge does he charge $4,000 for his course? I mean, I think the dude can actually trade. So if he's actually, you know, legit trading and making money, which I think he is, I think he's a legit trader, then, you know, maybe his time is worth $4,000, and, you know, it is what it is. But I still think you just shouldn't buy it. I think you could pretty much learn everything, even on his YouTube channel. I'm sure everything he teaches in the course are in his YouTube channel. That's what most of the time it is. Most of the time, everything they teach is in their YouTube channel, or so. I've been on a 4-day win streak. I'm so proud of myself. Nice, nice. Don't get, like, continue sticking with it. Don't get, like, whatever you've been doing, stick to it. And here's the thing. When you take that losing trade, don't understand that losing trade is coming. So don't get into a headspace of like, bro, I'm on a streak, I'm this, I'm that. And like, awesome that you're in a streak, but make sure continue doing what you're doing. And if you do take a losing trade, that's it. Like, don't overtrade. Don't lose that streak. Understand that it's just one losing trade. Come back and continue doing what you were doing. Because what a lot of people, and this is speaking also, again, speaking from experience, a lot of times when I would go on winning streaks, I would also get into a headspace of like, I would be up in a winning streak and I would be like, well, I'm up this amount of money, so I'm going to take this trade. Whatever, I don't care. I'm going to take this trade. I have room to the downside, and you take a stupid trade and then you lose money. And then you're like, oh, I'm still up, you know, whatever, I'll take this trade. And you take another stupid trade and you lose money. And then you start spiraling down. And by the time you know it, you've given up everything you've made. It's like, bro, I've been there. That's what I'm saying. Now it's like, now at the point, even when I go on winning streaks, I can go on a winning streak. And then once I have a losing trade, I still walk away. I walk away like I'm still on that winning streak. And I just continue doing what I've been doing. Because I understand it's probability. It's statistics. Statistically, even if you have an 80% win rate, right? Statistically, you're gonna have a time where you're gonna go on like a two losing streak, 3 losing streak. Even with a high win rate, you're going to go on losing streaks. So it's just a part of, it's math, right? It's gonna happen eventually. But that's awesome. Yeah, it's what do you think about 88815 ORB? You just have to backtest it. I haven't backtested it, so I can't tell you. Backtesting will tell you everything. Go, you know, it doesn't even have to, you don't even have to buy a software. Take some time over the weekend, go 2 months back and just go day by day over every single day and see what days it worked. What days you have a certain rules, it broke out, retest, boom, hit this area, 1-to-1. Broke out, retest, hit 1-to-1. And kind of like see where. Backtesting does take some time, but it'll tell you if it's worked in the past 2 months or whatever. And if it has worked in the past 2 months, forward test it. And based on that backtesting, forward test it for another 2 months. And if it's worked for another 2 months, I mean, you got possibly a decent strategy there. No, I'm not going to get complacent. Yeah. Keep your psychology in check. Just understand that this is a long-term game. This isn't a game where you're trying to get rich quick. You're trying to grow your account long-term. If you want to see what, how to be profitable and how to stay profitable, you do what everyone else is. You do the opposite of what everyone else is doing. Everyone else is over-leveraging, oversized. They're taking dumb trades just to be entertaining. Like, it's not profitability. It's entertaining, but it's not profitable, like, to do that. I'm just saying the potential and places you can get to it in life if you want to pay for some course. Yeah, it's... If they're genuinely, like, if they have if they would have a strategy that's not on YouTube, that's not, like, shared anywhere, and they sell a course and they sell something that's like actual value. But if they're teaching something that's on YouTube everywhere, like ICT people, right? ICT traders that sell courses, bruh, literally every single freaking ICT concept is on YouTube for free. All that a course is laid out for you. So you're gonna pay for somebody to lay out the information for you. Feels like it should be your own little success story, not buying some course. Yeah, usually that's kind of the way it is. Even if you kind of trade someone else's strategy, you end up having to tweak something for yourself, for your psychology or what. Like, naturally, some people are more patient. Some people are less patient. Some people are willing to wait, a whole week to take a trade. Some people want to trade every single day, and some people, you got to kind of develop a strategy for your psychology to suit it. So you don't have to really change yourself as a person. You kind of just develop a strategy for your psychology and just stick to that. After, give me a second. After 2 years, this day and day strategy comes third, but had risk management and profitability mindset. Yeah, strategy is your base, and then you have psychology that comes in. Psychology is for you to stick to your strategy. That's it. That's what psychology is. People try to learn all these different secrets of trader psychology and this and that. All psychology is sticking to your freaking plan. That's it. Just follow the freaking rules. That's it. There's your psychology. You don't need a book on psychology. Just have a profitable strategy that you've back tested it and stick to the freaking rules. And then I don't get people that honestly, I don't get it. Where people are just man, I was good for 2 months and I blew my account in one day. I get it in the terms of being a new trader, but I don't get it. If you've been trading for years upon years already and you're still doing the same thing, bruh. How do you calm nerves once getting funded? I just passed my combine on Top Step. So the way I do it, personally, I do it completely different from every other freaking person you see on TikTok. The way everybody else does it is everybody over leverages on their evaluations. So once they get into their funded, they have to start to switch up their sizing in a sense of, they were over leveraged. Now they're sizing down, and they get because the sizing is different, they start to kind of force things and their psychology kind of shifts. They don't stick to the same rules. So first of all, whatever got you to pass that, stick to your rules. This is why personally, when I pass evaluations, could I pass the evaluation in one day and just oversize and over leverage? Yeah, I could. But I don't do that. The way I pass the evaluations is for example, these 7 funded accounts that I have, the way I passed them is I started my evaluation risking, say, $400 per trade. And so it took me a month of patience, discipline. Took me a month to pass these evaluation accounts. So once I passed these evaluation accounts and I got put in a funded account, guess what? I'm still trading the same size, the same process. So now my mindset is everything is the same. The way I was trading to pass those evaluations throughout the whole month is the same exact thing I'm doing in the funded account. Nothing is changing. Absolutely nothing changes. So my psychology is the same. So I'm not scared of taking trades. I just continue doing what I've been doing, what's been proven to work. So, but when you pass an evaluation one way and then you get put in a funded account and you start trading a different way, I mean, that's very difficult because in your mind, you don't know if it works and you're just kind of forcing things that aren't there. Now you've sized down, you're trading different risk styles, and so. Thanks for the advice. I appreciate it a lot. And no problem. If I can help some people out with anything, it works for me because while I'm waiting for trades and stuff, if I don't get any trade, it's still I can still, help some people out. It works. You've helped me out more than you can imagine with psychology and emotional standpoint. Yeah, so and that's when you watch other people. When you watch other people, what happens is when you watch a trader, right? There are plenty of traders out there, and I'm not shitting on anybody. Everyone has their own, people do it for entertainment purposes. People do it to teach. Everyone has their own, style, what they're trying to do. But when you have a trader out there that you're watching, that he's constantly jumping into trades left and right, and like, 5 minutes he's in a trade, then 10 minutes later he's in another trade, then 15 minutes later he's jumping into another trade. When you have somebody that trades a lot, I'm not saying it doesn't work. Some people it's scalping, some people are amazing scalpers. But when you're trying to be patient, it really screws up with your psychology, because you feel like now you have to be trading a lot. Oh, he's taking all these trades, so I must be doing something wrong if I'm not taking any trades. I must not get this yet. If he just took 3 trades, he sees the market better, and I don't see anything, and I didn't take any trades. That doesn't necessarily mean he's better, right? So it forces you to force trades, forces you to do all this. Patience is key. Patience is key. If your strategy gives you 3 setups a day, size down according to be able to take those 3 setups a day. If your strategy gives you 1 setup a day, size according to only take 1 strategy a day. So I can risk more per trade, because what's the difference between somebody risking 2% per trade and then and taking a trade every single day, and somebody risking 5% or 10% and taking 1 trade a week, right? Comes out to the same thing. So it just depends on your strategy. And like I said, some strategies present 1 opportunity per week, 2 opportunities per week. Some strategies present an opportunity every day. You can't look on someone else and how they're trading and think that, oh, because they're trading more per day, that means they're seeing the market better. It's not true. What did you trade when you used to do options? I used to trade, what was it? Freaking A. I forgot, to be honest with you. This was so long ago. I forgot what I used to trade. I think I traded Tesla and a couple other stuff. I forgot. I think I still did like the S&P 500, but with options. Potential short soon. Not for me. I mean, I don't see any confirmation. This thing is still ripping. Trying to catch the top is also just trying to catch something that, unless you have a strat, like I said, I don't see anything, but if someone has a strategy out there that presents a short opportunity for them that they've backtested, that's different. But for me, I don't see why. This thing is still making higher highs and higher, so it's still ripping. So you don't want to try to force the market to go down, because you're just going to get ripped. You're going to try to force it to go down, and it's going to go right through your stop order. I think it's crazy the people that spend 9 to 4 on the charts. Yeah, I don't get that either. I don't think anybody should spend. There's a mental capital you have. I think you should have a strategy. That's the beautiful part about trading too, is I can come in at 9:30 and I could leave at 11 o'clock and still make money, right? It's like, I don't have to sit here. Like, trading is a thing that's supposed to give you freedom when you learn it, right? It's supposed to give you freedom to start your own business, to give you the time to maybe invest in the business, do this, do that, like fund other things you want to do. It's supposed to give you time. You're not supposed to sit on the charts all day long. I don't get that. Right? I'm on 9:30. If I don't get a setup, you hop off at 11. I got other stuff to do. I don't have to sit here and try to, You planning on entering in? No, I'm not planning. I'm done. I didn't get anything. It's already 11 o'clock, so I'm not gonna get anything. I'm gonna give it like a couple more minutes, and I'm gonna be hopping off. I mean, there's nothing for me to do. For my strategy, this thing is long and gone. Trust me, I wish I would have got a setup so I can go into the weekend with, not being break even, but being in profit, but I can't force something. So trust me, I wish I could. I usually size down on funded just a bit. Yeah, allow yourself for that drawdown. Allow yourself, and learn how to be in drawdown. Like, a lot of traders don't know how to be in drawdown. Like, they immediately, once they go in drawdown, they freaking, once they go into drawdown, they just blow their account because they're just like, oh, I'm in drawdown, I'm gonna blow my account, reset it, you know, pass the valuation in one day, and I'm back to square one. Like, bro, like, learn how to get yourself out of drawdown. Learn the psychology of, if you take, say, 3 losers in a row, learn to kind of, you know, keep yourself grounded and kind of just like work your way out of the drawdown. Don't like blow up your account immediately after going into some drawdown. Like, to put this into perspective, I allow myself right now, the way I'm trading, and this is a little bit, I'm trading a little bit on the aggressive side, but like, to put it into perspective, over the past 2.5 months, I have not taken more than 2 losing trades in a row. 2 losing trades in a row over the past 2.5 months was my max losing trades that I've taken. In order to blow these accounts that I'm trading, to blow these funded accounts, I have to take 7 losing trades in a row would blow my accounts. I haven't taken more than 2. And if I take more than 2, if I take 3 losing trades in a row, I will size down. So you can kind of see, I haven't taken more than 2 losing trades in a row, but it takes me 7 trades to blow an account. So like, right? Like, what are the chances that I'm going to come in and blow an account? Slim to none. Especially with my 80% win rate. As long as I stick to my plans and don't, you know, keep doing what I'm doing. But allow yourself, and it helps you with your psychology. Like, when you keep track of your data and you know you haven't been, you know your max losing trades in a row, you're sized accordingly. Like, in the back of your mind, when you start getting emotional and this and that, like, you ground yourself and go, all right, this works. I know my data, and you just keep trading the way you've been trading. I'm not scared about blowing my accounts. I'm not scared about over trading. Does the funded account has time limits? Yeah, technically yes, because you have to market close. I forgot what time it is. I forgot what it is because I don't worry about it because I'm not, anyways, I don't trade during those times. But you can double check with the prop firms. I think by like 5 o'clock, by 5 o'clock, you have to have all your positions closed. You can't hold a position, like, you have to have your positions closed by like 5 o'clock or around there. And then when the market opens at 6 o'clock, right? The market opens back up at 6 o'clock for the next, then you can get back into a trade after 6. But you can't keep positions open during that time window. You have to be flat. But check with every prop firm, because every prop firm has its own rules. So, but that's generally what it is. Best stock to get in. I don't give financial advice. I can't. That's a thing that you have to do your research on. And, you know, there are solid companies out there, Tesla, Nvidia, you know, solid growth companies that you can look into. Or S&P 500 is a, you know. But I can't tell you a stock. I can't give financial advice, bro. I'd get in so much trouble if I literally was on here live and I told somebody to buy something, bro. I can get in so much trouble for that. So I can't give financial advice. Just do your due diligence, do the research, and understand. And whatever money you decide to risk, understand that that's money on the table. Like, never invest more money than you're willing to risk. Never invest more money than you're willing to lose. Yeah, this is the 1 minute chart. So structure's starting to kind of shift, to be honest with you. This is the first sign of a kind of like structure kind of shifting, right? We made this high. We pushed back up, failed to break the high. So we made a lower high. Now we're breaking below this kind of structure. So we could start to see a downtrend here. I don't know how far, but I'm going to be hopping off here. I think I'm done for the day. Come back Monday and see what we get Monday. like I said, I'm working toward. Sorry, it's not like entertaining. I'm not taking trades left and right. I'm patient because I understand. All it takes is for me to 13 trades, and I'm toward a $20,000 payout. So I'm going to be patient. And in the meantime, like, if I can, help some people out, and I can, people have some questions about, psychology or whatever, then if I can help some people out in the meantime while I wait, then it's a win-win for me. So, but yeah, so that's that. I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna go. I have some stuff I gotta. That's the other beautiful part before I leave, right? I got other stuff I do. This is why also I tell people trading should not be your only thing you do. Have other things you do. Because, for example, me, right? I'm not even tempted to sit here on the charts all day. I got other stuff I have to do. Other stuff, I buy and sell cars. I love doing that. So I buy, fix, and sell cars. So I got other stuff I got to do. So it's like, I'm not even tempted to sit here all day. It's like, if I don't get it set up, it is what it is. I walk away. We'll come back tomorrow. Monday. Come back Monday. And I know a good setup is coming. I just have to be patient. So. It's only trading live I watch. I appreciate it. Yeah. If I can help you with psychology and in any way, then I'm glad. But I'll be back Monday, and we'll see what happens Monday. But other than that, y'all have a good weekend. Don't overtrade. Don't blow your accounts right before a weekend. If you haven't found something, just listen. Come back Monday. It's fine. Market's gonna open back up. This is a long-term game. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. So, I'll see you guys Monday. Peace out. Have a good weekend.